Oh man, what's going on, Mater? Can you hear me? Okay, I'm playing with my equipment. N- Not that equipment. My mic and stuff. Hopefully, you can hear me. Cool. Man, it's cold again. I don't want to be outside. The heater in here just doesn't seem like it keeps up very well. And I got my loft has got a hole in it. Hey, what's going on, Tim? What's going on, man? I was goofing around in this thing again, trying to get used to it. It's weird. This is Bryce's job, not mine. So I'm trying to get the hang of this stuff. God, I was surprised. Nobody's on tonight. I mean, there's like no lives going. I was kind of surprised. Uh, kind of figured Friday night, cold, miserable, ugly in places. I don't know. Maybe it's nice somewhere else, but man, it's cold here. Thanks, Tim. Me? No, there's no brains here. They all escape through the hat. See, no. Bryce is he's the techie god, man. He's the life and savior of that program. I'm just there to fill in the gaps. I think he does a good job. He puts a lot of time in with that stuff. I mean, creating those slides and whatnot. I got to figure out how to do that eventually, but one of these days, I got enough stuff going on. Trying to get used to. I got a bigger TV hung up here. I'm gonna figure out which one to look at. So, what are you guys doing tonight? Hide inside. Hey, what's going on, Kev? I just decided to turn this thing on. What the heck, right? I didn't see anybody else on. That was kind of weird. I was looking to just turn it on and play it on my shop TV, while I was working, trying to stay warm. I hear you. Yeah, me too. It's like gets up to around 40, 50 during the day and it drops down below freezing at night. It sucks. You're probably a lot colder there. I'm trying to clean up my mess a little bit. I kind of went on a little bit of a shopping spree, buying some closeout parts and stuff. Hey, what's going on, Chaz? Man, I don't know. I had to create a live. No one else had lives going today. It's like, wow. I think there was some earlier, but yeah, I don't know. I must have missed them. It's, well, time it is now. Everything's winding down. It's supposed to be 62 here today. Oh, wow. 62? Man, that's nice. It go to snow. Gee, don't that figure? Yeah, our daytime temp gets just to the point where it's comfortable, but then at night, man, it just drops like a rock. I was working on my shed outside, and man, it just got so cold. I was like, the heck with this, I'm coming in. I gotta put the camera somewhere I'm looking at it, or makes it look like I'm looking at you guys or something. I'm trying to figure this out. Let's see if it. Sorry, I'm trying not to. This isn't one of those fancy cameras that doesn't shake everywhere, so bear with me just for a moment. See if this will work. Well, that's different. I might be able to do something with that. Oh yeah, now you can right here. Now you can see where all my cold air's coming in. The big gap in my attic area. I got to get up there and close that off. Well, that's good. Yeah, Tim. I've been hearing a lot of things about those Bever, Beaver, or I'm probably saying it wrong, those diesel heaters. I know some guys with some shops that don't have heat that really like those, and they're the real cat's meow. One guy's telling me he's got a was it a 5 or 8 thousand unit, and he'll go through a gallon of diesel in 8 hours. And he says it keeps his shop. He's got a like 16 by 30 something shop, and it keeps it nice and toasty. I don't know how big your shop is. Dean. What's going on, Dean? Mater. People, yeah. See, my garage is junkier than Mater's. Well, I'm kind of, my way of organizing it is throwing it all out in the middle and just dispersing it back into places better organized. I don't know. That's my excuse, though. At least that's what I'm sticking with. 40 by 60? Oh, yeah. Yep. This is a 32 by 36. 40 by 60 is a good size. That's kind of what I was headed for, but I ran out of money. I like my electric heaters, Chaz, but I don't know what electricity costs are for you out that way. Here, it's not too bad. We got plenty of dams pissing off the greenies, generate power, so our power is relatively inexpensive for the most part. Hey, Destroyer, what's going on, man? Uh, yeah, I like Tim. I like the size of Tim's shop. I wish I had. That was kind of where I was going. But I mean, this. I'm not going to complain. I'm glad I got what I got. Otherwise, I wouldn't have nothing at all. Trying to follow the chat here. Oh, Rusty Iron. Hey, man, how's it going? 3,200 square feet. Yeah, that's good sized. The only problem is if I got a bigger shop, I just fill it with more crap. I mean, that's all there is to it. Let's see if I can readjust this a little bit. Sorry, guys. It's amateur hour with the camera if you don't fall off this thing already. Yeah, see? Now, once I get this metal all heated up nice and warm, running it for a few hours, it should radiate and keep it warm. I don't know. I know my dad's shop was a similar size to this, a little bit smaller, but we had a wood stove in it. I didn't want to do that. I mean, it worked, but man, every time you turn around, you're stoking the stove, and then you got to boil water on top because it gets so dry in there. Everything you touch, you get shocked. So I didn't want to do the wood stove thing again. These 220 heaters work pretty good. Like I said, the electricity bill is really the key is insulating the place, which I made sure I did that when I built it. So I think I don't know my coldest point. It might be $40 a month if I run it on the weekends. Maybe less than that. I'll turn it on like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Mater, do you have one of those uh, Viver heaters? Is that what you have? Dean, I don't need a bigger shop. I just collect more crap. Oh, okay. I can do that, Tim. I got your email too, I think. Either one, I'm sure will work for you, I would imagine. I do have your email. I think I do. Pretty sure I do. Yeah, see, now you're like the fourth or fifth person that's gave a good review of those Beavers, and I don't know if I'm saying it right. they're really happy with them. I guess they work really well. I mean, for a gallon of fuel, that's you get a good 8 hours out of it. There's no complaint there. Oh, okay. Yeah, you probably did, Tim. I had to go back and look. All right, I'll get you that info. They're not too expensive either. I think they're you can catch them on sale. Mater might probably tell you what he paid for his. I mean, they're really inexpensive for what they are. I don't know what the cutoff is in the size of shop where they really start having to work, but shoot, just get them in there, and if you're well insulated, I'm sure it'll work well. I don't see why it wouldn't. And fuel around here gets to be stupid in price, but I mean, we're only talking a gallon or two. It's not a big deal. Yeah, Beaver makes a lot of stuff. I just don't know. Some of their stuff's good. You know, it's like anything you go to Harbor Freight for. Some good, some bad. Oh, there you go. So as long as they're in business, it should be pretty easy to deal with. They've been around for a little while though. See, and that's the other thing too. Here is we end up with a high humidity, especially this time of the year, and when you get down into the 30s, it feels like teens. It's just freaking humidity makes the cold so much colder. The dry cold is more tolerable. I've been in dry cold. The kid and I were up on top, the Great Divide, making his way over into Colorado. We got stuck up on the mountain. And it was 11,000 feet or something going over the pass. And it was 19 degrees out. And it did not feel like it. It was so weird, but it was super dry. I know there's a bunch of reviews on those Vevers too. If you wanted to look around, I guarantee you. I know Robert's Garage has got hell. I think he's done a couple different reviews. He might have two different Beaver machines. I know he's done at least one. I seen one of his. Don't don't kick yourself too hard, Tim. These posts are the two post lifts are coming down in price. Um, they're getting a little bit more affordable. That's not a bad price though. I mean, 2,500, but it's more and more common now. Um, I've seen well that one there. I got it for a steal, but it was also a scrap. I mean, they were throwing it away because the arms didn't lock, so I picked it up for scrap price. But it wouldn't. You couldn't put it into a an actual shop because it wouldn't meet OSHA standards. So, but I've seen some of these two posts because I this one here has the floor plate, which I'm not real fond of. I mean, for the price, I'm not going to complain. I'd definitely opt for the one that goes overhead, the chains and stuff, or cables, whichever way it goes, which may bring a little more cost. But I do know the Challengers are still they still make them. Matter of fact, there's a dealer here in town for these Challengers. Uh, they're actually becoming a little more reasonable. Used oil drip unit. Oil drip unit for a heater, Kev. Fadable. Oh, inflatable plate. I've always wondered how those were. Those inflatable paint booths. You think they'd get staticky though? I'd be interested to see how those work out. So here's my thought on the lifts, because I'm kind of torn between the 2 and the 4. I have the 2, but 4-post does have its place as well. Here's the thing. I have, in the recent years, been doing a lot of underneath work, transmission, suspension, all that kind of stuff. One thing I like about having the 2-posts is I have a complete clear workway underneath the rig. I can pull gas tanks, exhaust, anything underneath that car without, even with the plate on the floor, which is a little bit irritating, but it's not horrible. I have open, clear, free open space underneath that car or truck to work with nothing in my way. That's the downfall to the 2 or the 4-posts, is having those ramps. Now, when you're doing simple maintenance or minor suspension work, nothing where you're trying to pull transmissions and stuff through the middle of those ramps, sometimes I think that the ramp setup would be better, just because you have a place to set stuff. And when you're doing a brake job, you basically have a built-in table right there. Working from the sides of it, I don't particularly like working between the drive-on ramps, but it can be done. I mean, the 4-post is probably the most versatile and probably supports the car the best. I do have to be careful when I'm loading things onto this 2-post. If I pull an engine and the front suspension, I definitely need to pay attention to what I'm doing and make sure the back's supported. Because I know I did that on one of my trucks. Had the engine out, I was rebuilding suspension, and it got a little light on the front. I mean, I had to stand underneath it anyways, but it's just something you got to take into consideration. However, just like a 4-post, I can raise a truck or car up, provided the suspension doesn't hang too far. And I can drive another rig right underneath it too. I mean, so they both do like a storage thing. So it's basically personal preference. And with those 4-posts, I know Tim was saying you can't do the brakes. You can, because they make that little. There's a little air over hydraulic jack that runs on tracks between the ramps. You can get that extra, and they're kind of handy, and it will allow you to jack the car up while on the ramp. I mean, you can do it that way. Plus, you can set up. My thought is, when you're doing the driveline setup and you're doing getting your front suspension roughed in and the alignment roughed in, having a 4-post is way easier, because the car is sitting at its right height. You're able to get it up in the air and work on it. Everything else, if you want to pull a transmission, exhaust, and all the other stuff, a 2-post is definitely way easier, especially when you're kind of a big dude. But that's my thoughts. I mean, everyone has their own preference. Safety-wise, the 4-post may be a little safer, but it's definitely a mother getting transmissions out of. I don't like pulling transmissions on a 4-post. I mean, you can do it, but there's just not a lot of space because the ramps are in the way. Rear axles, yes and no. I mean, it gives you a place to set the rear axle when you're doing it. So, I mean, it's personal preference. You could do it on either one. Yeah. Oh, Kev's like, oh, okay. We got an oil burner heater at work. Basically, all the cop cars and all the maintenance rigs and stuff. When they change oil in those, that's what that shop's heated on, is the drip. I don't know what kind of drip system it is, but the building is pretty large, and there's tanks all over the place, storage tanks. I don't go through enough oil here to try to heat it with oil, at least not yet. I don't change the oil in any of the junk I have until I actually start to drive it. Me too, Tim. Yep. My goal is to be able to practically live out here, but I got a ways for retirement yet. So I'm working up to it. I'm just trying to, like this last summer, I spent a lot of time rewiring the place and making a lot of changes, a lot of things I didn't like. And I just kind of been ignoring, and I finally just said, to hell with it. I got to do this and start redoing my shelving, because some of this is going, some of the stuff's going, and I need to get better organized, because right now a lot of my stuff is in boxes and things. I just don't have the drawers and in the proper storage for a lot of the small stuff, the crap that holds up a project. Oh, Foster. Ain't no Billy Bass in this joint. That's all you, brother. You know what's funny though, Foster? My dad has one or two Billy Basses. I think he's got at least one hanging on the wall in his shop. My daughter used to love to have him when he played it. And he made her a little stick so she could reach the button and push it when when he wasn't around. So Billy Bass lives in his shop, Foster. Oh, nice. I did a little bit of the small engine stuff when I was in high school. I learned enough to be dangerous. That's cool, Tim. And you know what? Perfect time of the year to do it. Wintertime. Small indoors, real low key operation. I I would assume you must do a little side work here and there, or is it a kind of a winter business? But that'd be cool. Yeah, that's definitely the stuff to do. I just buy more shit and tear it apart in the wintertime. That's all I do. How you doing, Envious? Thanks for sliding in. Impromptu live, I guess I decided to do today. So. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just add more to change it. You don't need to change the oil; just changes as you add it. Oh, is your so you're working all in your neighbor's stuff? Nice, nice. I actually have some video. I rebuilt a power rake. I always wanted a power rake because around here moss is like our state freaking grass, more or less. So in order to grow grass, you have to get rid of the moss, and those power rakes come in handy. I ended up buying one at a garage sale, but I didn't really look it over. Was it a garage sale? Or maybe it was a Craigslist ad. I don't remember. But I didn't look it over real close. I mean, it was a cheap package of three pieces of equipment. I just paid the guy as fast as I could because it was that cheap. But it didn't have no tongs underneath. It was missing half the shafts. It was. I bought a project, but I got it all fixed up. It works pretty good now. I shot some video of that. It's on my to-do list of editing that I don't know when I'll ever get done. So I'm a proud owner of a power rake, a Keys power rake, if you know the brands. Foster, keep your finger out of the mouth hole, Foster. That's all I can tell you. Well, that's cool. What do you guys bartering when you're doing the trade work? I try to barter with my neighbor, but he don't want to get rid of nothing. He's like 77 and he's still going to restore all 80 cars he owns. So I told him the other day I'll just wait for his estate sale, get a better deal. No, I'm not that mean. I'm thinking that, but I didn't tell him. My neighbor's a good guy though. He's more he's the nicest guy in the world, but he hoards everything. But it is kind of nice that he does because sometimes you need those weird off the wall stuff. And he dives into that garage full of crap and pulls out the one or two pieces you're looking for, and it's like, how'd you find that? But I wouldn't want to be that way. I couldn't hoard that much stuff. He's an old farmer. Power foot holder. You got a planer? Those are nice to have. How big's the planer, Mater? Oh, right on, Tim. Cool. Yeah, let him do the power washing. Trust me on that one. I do my own, and it's like this is miserable. So that's a good deal. If you do a little bit of work for him and he power washes the house, I'd say you're making out pretty well. Rusty iron. It's a Delta. Oh, nice. Boy, no expense spared on that. Delta 12. Oh, yeah, I think I'm learning. I've picked up some of it from my father, and I've managed to do a bit of hoarding already. I just need to get better organized at it so I can find it once I've gotten it. Oh, Tim, oh, you dog. uh, so, what are you doing when she's doing the power washing? Hey, so what's going on, man? Yeah, I'm live. I'm here. I decided to flip her on. Nobody's on tonight. I was like, what's going on? It's quiet tonight. I actually, like I was telling him earlier, I flipped it on just to have his background noise listening to somebody else's live while I was supposed to be fixing that light right there. And yeah, I saw there was nobody on. So I thought, piss on it. I'll turn mine on and stand here for a while. Watch. Tim, do you make a request that she wears white T-shirts, or is there or or what you should do is come up with a company shirt that's white and have her wear it. My internet. Oh, we'll get that fixed, ASO. You've probably been having problems with that for a while, haven't you? Because I think the last couple of lives, something was always cutting out on it. I put my drink. Well, if you need to buy equipment, yeah, I can understand. All that stuff's getting expensive. Nice. Thanks, Envious. Appreciate that, man. Where's the meet at? It must be better weather than here because it's like freaking 30 degrees out here. Tim. Once she has the kid, you can coax her back into it. You know what happens after they have the kid? Something else gets bigger too. Got to feed them. Oh, Mater, shots fired. Oh, Modesto, yeah. 47. It's still a little chill for. That's what Modesto would be more Central California, right? Central Southern, if I remember right. It's still a little chill for the area, not like San Diego. My ex-wife's from Modesto. I think her mom and some family still lives there. Been through there a couple times. Uh-oh. Thunderbird's under the knife. What are you doing? What you got to spill some beans on Ollie's garage channel here. What you got going on, ASO? Hey Fox, what's going on, man? Yeah, I did it again. Oops, I did it again. Another live. Oh yeah, Linmore. Yep. Is Linmore even open anymore? I thought it was one of the ones that got closed. Lemoore. keep saying it wrong. I don't know if we're gonna do like Bryce and I were talking about. We had those theme shows going for a while there, and they worked out a few times. But I don't know if we're gonna do any more themed ones. It seemed like most people enjoyed having kind of like the open platform, like any questions can pop up type thing. What do you guys think? Did you like having the theme stuff? Because there was a few of the themes that kind of sucked. It didn't seem like we had a whole lot of. Not many people really liked it. Yeah, all that. Oh, I thought a bunch of those F-18s were over in Mountain Home too. Maybe I'm wrong. $351. Yeah. But my question is what do you need to do surgery to? That'll fit in there. Now, if you said 460, I could okay. Oh, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Mount Home, yeah, right. Well, I was Air Force, so that's probably duh. Yeah, and I'm sure they probably still had 15s and 16s there. I'd imagine. Suck and blow jet guys. That's what we used to call them. I worked prop jobs, turbo shaft, helicopters. We were a little bit above the suck and blow jet guys. Hey, Frank, what's going on, man? Oh, ASO? You saying Cleveland now? You putting a Cleveland in it? Really? Yeah, I was. I did 4 years. It was one of those things where I was young and dumb and didn't stay in. Thought the grass was greener on the other side, which they probably shouldn't allow 20, 21, 22 year olds to make those kind of decisions yet on their own. I'm really regretting not staying in, but I had a good time. I liked my job. The base was I was stationed in Albuquerque, which was an AETC training base. That was part of the problem. That's why I didn't like it, and it was Albuquerque. But I liked my job. I really did. I kind of got stuck on the Fat Boy program my last year or so, and then they're threatening to hold rank back, and I got disgruntled and pissed. And pretty much didn't reserve my job, gave them the middle finger, and left. And then I had a job lined up, Pacific Propeller in Kent, Washington. And then by the time I got out, they called and said, "Don't bother, we're laying 1,200 people off." Great, fantastic. So that leads me to where we are today. I basically gotten out right after 9/11, so that's why the big airline layoff. But I did like my job. I really did. I had worked with some really cool guys, most of which I'm still friends with to this day. And most of them, well, I'd say half and half. Half stayed the whole gambit, half got out like I did. And most of us that got out kind of regretted it. But then I wouldn't have this palace of hoarding if I stayed in, because they sure as hell wouldn't allow that on base. Or I would have to move so many times I wouldn't be able to accumulate as much crap. There's a flawless 91 F-250 drive 794. Really? So let me ask you this, Fox. Do you really like high fuel bills? Because that's exactly what you're going to be paying. That 460 is a thirsty monster. And I believe in those years they had the timing still retarded. There was something about them. You had to make a couple tweaks and it wasn't so bad on the fuel. can't remember if it was compression or timing, one of the two. Trucks are still brute though. I would, if you're in the market for something like that, it's a good truck. Who was the first drag race driver to wear a respirator? That's a good question. I don't know. Prudhomme? Oh, so you did the whole run, Chaz? Awesome, man. Awesome. That's awesome. Congratulations on your retirement then. Good for you. Did you when you went back, did they make you go reserve guard or did they let you back in after active duty? That was the other thing that ticked me off too, is they told me when I left it wouldn't allow me back in active duty and I wasn't interested in doing guard or reserve. So I just never went back. That's a good one, Mater. I have no clue who was the first doing the respirator. Actually, Tim, these things are ancient as all get out. These are old T12 fluorescents. Well, this bay here, which you guys can't see, these are. Let me see if I can. So, what I did was when I built the shop, I had these vaulted lights put in. These are actually 8-foot T8s, and for whatever reason, they only made them for a short time. They're real small. They're like a 4-foot T8, only they're 8-foot solid bulbs. Apparently, they seem to think that the bulbs are easy to break. So I don't know. They don't make 8-footers anymore. So I'm gonna have to change these eventually out to the dual 4-footers. But all these lights over here are all T12s. And why did I put those in? Well, I built a shop like 10 or 15 years ago, and I managed to get them for. Give me a second here. So I managed to get them for $1.50 a piece with ballast and a couple boxes of bulbs. So I was like, they ain't the latest and greatest, but the price is right. So up they went. Yeah, see, Rusty Iron understands. Hoarding's a big part of my hobby. Well, honestly, and I'm sure any car guy will agree. For some of us, this is the only way we can even afford to do anything is by just hoarding shit, buying it when you can find it, grab it when you get it, and just sit on it. A lot of my other friends make fun of me because, like, well, if you got rid of all that shit and got something done, well, I couldn't afford to do anything anyways if I didn't. Or I'd be looking for the part I need, where it's probably out here now anyways. I like my hoarding. Sometimes I wish I didn't hoard. I'll give you that. Mainly because, like right now, I'm out of space, which is the reason for the new shed, which needed to be done anyways because the other one is literally rotting into the ground. But it's nice when you're working on stuff. It's not nice when you got to work around this stuff. That's the only problem. So we're working on that. Right on, right on. 23 years total. That is awesome. Well, congratulations, man. Thank you for your service. I might have screwed up the family tree because I'm the only one that did not retire. My dad did. My grandfather did. My uncle. Oh, my uncle didn't. My mom didn't. So I guess in the hierarchy of things, I would have been next in line, and I did not. My son, who's now going to be starting his second enlistment in a couple months, he may or may not stay the full run. I mean, not like he could afford to buy a house right now. So I told him I was just stay in and let the Army house him. But right on. Well, I hope you take advantage of all the retirement things that they offer you. I mean, my dad was definitely raking those in. He made it a point to stay at a lot of the bases and stuff, and it was way everywhere I was, or if we went somewhere or they went on vacation, he usually took advantage of the retirement things. Like you could stay at bases dirt cheap. So I'm assuming, Chaz, you are Army. Am I right with that? Or no, you're Navy. You're Navy. I think I remember you telling me you were in the Navy. That's right. Now I remember. Oh, so Fox, you were reserve. Okay, I was thinking you're active duty for some reason. Okay, right on. Tim. You know, the only thing, Tim, the only complaint I would have with the LED, we have the LEDs in our shop at work. Dude, my camera is like super freaking crooked. This is funny. Sorry, we're doing amateur hour here again. Here, let me move you guys. Okay, let's try this. There. I'm not so crooked. Um, we have LEDs at work, which, of course, the big thing is they tout not having to replace them, their long life, whatever. We've had them go out, and the biggest problem I've seen with our LEDs, at least the ones we have, you have to replace the whole fixture. They don't have a bulb that's serviceable, which is weird. I don't know why. Maybe it's the one they bought. If you have, if you're looking at some that do have some kind of a replaceable bulb, that's probably way better than what we got. Those ones we have are junk. So I definitely. And the other thing with the LEDs, they're super bright. They definitely are. And I don't know how often you go out of your shop, or I go between the shop and the house a few times. When I head out those doors and it's dark out, even with just this light, it messes with my eyes something fierce. So, and these are 75 watters, which are kind of probably the biggest watt you can get for them right now. Whoa, $25 a bulb. I haven't. I buy them by the box, which I don't know. You might be able to see them. No, they're hidden behind the post there. I was buying boxes of 25, and we get a pretty good discount through work. I'm trying to remember. I'm going to say they're like $75 for a box of 25 the last time I bought them. But even then, they were telling me, they're like, you might want to buy an extra box because I don't know if we're going to be carrying these anymore, type thing. And I think it's Plaid Electric. I don't know if they're a pretty big company on this side. I don't know if you have them out there, but they're kind of hinting towards I may want to try looking into getting different fixtures. So I'm trying to keep this crap going as long as I can. So yeah, $25 a bulb is ridiculous. Frank. You're hoarding Christmas lights, huh? Nice. Absolutely, guys. Definitely appreciate all you guys that have served. I mean, we're all brothers. Definitely. And highly, highly appreciate y'all. So now, Chaz, you say you have the LEDs. Have you had any problems with them? How long have you had them? Have you had any problems with them burning out or anything? I swear the ones they put in our shop at work are like the shittiest ones you could buy. We've already had two go out, and the whole fixture has to be replaced, which is ridiculous. At least that's what they're telling us. I don't know if that's the truth. No kid, no T. That's the T12 stem. So if you can't find them on the East Coast, they're probably on their, if not already dead out here too. Great. Good God. All right. Well, guess we'll be looking into lighting here pretty soon. Fantastic. I swear to God, they're just trying to spend all my money. Turn the camera a little bit here. So on the ones you have, Chaz, they look like because that's the other thing too. I noticed with some of the LEDs is I don't want the daylight ones. I like the cool white look. So when you said that yours look like fluorescent, is that kind of what they are? Is like the cool white type look? I'd be interested in those. Hmm. Yeah, I think the fluorescents are starting to wear out their welcome. 2 or 3 years had two bulbs. So yours has replaceable bulbs then. That's good. Got out at the time. Oh, okay. Maybe that was the case with the ones we got at work, or they're just cheap bastards and we got the crappiest ones you could possibly purchase. Yeah, cool white. Okay, cool. Yep, I agree. Yeah, definitely way easier on the eyes. I know when I, even with these 75s in here, and I walk out the door right now, it's I can't see nothing. I'm blind until my eyes finally adjust. Yeah, so what do you got shades on for? When you're this cool, the sun's always shining. Oh, nice, nice. See, I don't mind the T8s, and I think those are still relatively easy to get. The 4 footers or they call them double fours, where they're fours end to end to make an eight. Um, I think the 4 footers are still easily gotten, and that's the other thing with the T8s I like better than these 12s is I can turn these T8s on in my lift bay. They don't flicker and give you that. They don't cause you to have seizures or anything because these 12, man, when it's like 20 degrees out here and I flip the lights on, yeah, you'll end up having a seizure if you stand out and stare at them. But the T8s aren't like that at all. That was a big plus for those. Nice, nice. That's cool, Rusty. I got the old C9 stuff, man. My lights are like ancient. Dancing. If you want a cooking channel, you're in the wrong one. Hey, mongrels. Yeah, I know, right? Well, nobody else is on. So I was like, somebody's got to be on Friday night. It's like, geez. Like I was telling him earlier, I wanted to jump on and turn one on to listen to while I was supposed to be fixing my light there. And no, there was nobody on. So I decided to jump on for a little bit. If I these lights here, I'm just going to tear fixtures and all down. I'm not going to convert them. Some of them don't even have their covers anymore. They're just a shot. I'm not even going to worry about it. Prime lights. Okay. I'll have to look them up. I get a pretty good discount at Platt. That's the only reason why I'd go there. Otherwise, I probably couldn't afford to. Old dancing. He's in here stirring up the chat. Thank God it's holy. Scraping the barrel if you're here. I'm telling you that right now. uh, uh, I have an auction house trying to melt my Visa. Jeez. Uh, Danson's a good guy. I enjoy his stuff. Yeah, his filmography is definitely one of its own. I enjoy it. Danson likes to make an entrance. I'll tell you that. He definitely likes to make an entrance. Oh, look, I finally got this dang thing paid off after 12 years of interest, right? Yeah, I know. He's got one of those backwards Honda freaking truck things with the suspension on the wrong end. Yeah. He used to have a Toyota pickup. I'm sure he still has it. I remember from his first few videos. I'm trying to remember if it was a Volkswagen Bug or something he went to go pick up, or what was that? It was on a little trailer, or maybe he was delivering it. Sketchy little trailer, that like a couple pans on it and a body or something. Oh, it was the minis. That's what it was. It was the minis. Yes. Yep. That's right. I was watching this in awe, going, "The hell's he doing?" Yes, that's right. The minis. Yep. He got some miles on that truck. I'm a domestic guy, but I'll give Toyota where it's due. Beat those things. They keep running. Hate to admit it, but it is true. What was even more interesting was you live pretty much up where it snows a ton and you only got a two-wheel drive. So I applaud you on that one too. Oh, Frank, I don't know whether to laugh or cry. Ouch. It might have been a compliment or a stab. I can't tell. Well, I'm doing this on a Friday night, so does that put me in the same group? This is the highlight of my Friday night. Oh, you did dancing, holding out, and some classic domestic iron. Toyota's doing a new diesel. So I thought Toyota was going to jump on the hydrogen bandwagon. Well, that's weird. Stole the radiator. Well, if it was aluminum, they may not have stolen it. The copper brass is working or worth a few bucks. Heck yeah, Corey. I know it's light. I gotta watch my girlish figure. uh 70s? Nah, man. It's like 30. I think it's 34 right now. Hasn't dropped into the super frozen yet. I'm not that quite far, or not quite that far south. I wish. How's your move going, Shopcat? You get that done yet? Or are you still in the works? 5 feet of three transmission hose? Well, first of all, what are you doing with 5 feet of transmission hose? Shouldn't that be in a steel line? The cat always sneaks in, dancing. The cat always sneaks in, one way or another. Shop cat's always welcome. Christo has been working on hydrogen combustion. Oh, interesting. I think hydrogen's the next best thing. This electric crap, which I mean, this is a rabbit hole I don't really want to go down, but the electric's a joke. I mean, hydrogen makes sense to me. It really does. But see, there's no money in it for the energy people, unless they want to control the rainwater. Because there'll always be some backyard guy figuring out how to make the hydrogen. So, Mater, you're saying that you have rubber hose. They didn't use a steel line for the transmission, really? That's kind of dumb. I mean, I've done it with just regular fuel line, and you're not really supposed to do that, but I've done it. Service loop. Shop cat. Yeah, that's true. Little buggers darting in and out. Well, now see, you say he's one of those city slickers, but he's telling us he's only 15 minutes away from where he was living. So does that mean he was really not that far out from the city to begin with? Was he still considered a city slicker? Because I mean, 15 minutes really isn't all that far. When you're making a bunch of trips, it is. Having neighbors. Yeah. You get used to it, though. Nice. Oh, Tim, man, you pull a long day today. Boy, you are marathoning it. I'm surprised you're still standing up straight here. You might want to get some rest, Bubba. 3 a.m. Holy cow. Well, thanks for stopping in, Tim. If you're taking off, I super appreciate it. It was kind of an impromptu deal we're doing. I don't know how long have I even been on. Oh, it's been an hour already? Holy cow. Wow, that was fast. Steam powered car. I got this theory with steam powered cars. I like how they work because they tend to weed out the weak and the weak minded. It's kind of like what natural selection was supposed to do, but they protected it. Steam cars might fill that void. Yeah, you're out there ways too, Chaz. I'm surprised you're still hanging, dude. What was it? It's almost 9 o'clock. This night's still young on the West Coast. But I appreciate you coming in. Super appreciate it. I got to get caught up on those F100 videos too. I've been a little behind. Been farting around with this stuff a little too much. I try to throw stuff on as I'm working, but I don't get everyone's stuff, listened to or watched all in one night. The daughter's bowling tournaments and stuff have been. I try to make as many of them as I can. Support her. Although I think when I show up, her score goes down. So maybe I'm a bad omen. I don't know. Ooh, a Hamlet. Yeah, Sherwood, Hamlet. Are you dressing up like that too? I mean, that might be kind of fun. Just saying. Do a reenactment. Little Robin Hood, stealing from the rich, give to the poor. Right on. Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing you doing the paint stuff because I'm a novice, so I'm always taking cues from everybody, see what they do. Even old Bondo Billy, I watch a lot of his stuff too. He's got a lot of neat tricks, but everyone does it a little differently, and I like watching other people do stuff I don't know how to do. Just it's a lot to learn. There's always new things you can learn. So I definitely want to see what you're doing and how it turns out. That it might give me a little incentive to get something done. I'm not really a patina guy, even though all my junk is patinaed. Not by choice. Thanks for coming in, Frank. Appreciate it. Stay warm out there. I'm sure it's a little colder out east of me. Or it's windy too, I'm sure. One or the other. Yeah, I definitely want to see those. I think we're both. Well, and you're going to do that inflatable booth. That's the number two thing I was curious of too, because I don't really. I mean, I've painted in the shop before. I did the trailer. I painted it right here, and man, oh man, did that make an overspray mess. And that was with a turbine sprayer. I don't know if you've ever seen one of those. I bought a turbine spray. They usually use it for painting houses and stuff, but this one was kind of set up for automotive, so we went ahead and shot some. I think it was Imran. I think it was Imran. I ran through it, and we actually went on pretty good. We painted. It was a short box that. Well, it's on. It's in one of my videos. It's the brown old trailer. 1 quart of color plus it's all the shit you mix with it. Painted that whole trailer with this uh, turbine sprayer. Pretty impressive. What's going on, Chris? Yeah, it's gotta watch the figure, It's a light beer. I'm already fat enough. Chris in the chat there is one of the guys I work with. I guess I went live, didn't I? He asked me yesterday if I was going to do this, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. Nobody else is on. So I was like, what the hell? Our hamlet has a population of 71,000. See, now to me, 71,000 is a good amount. Not too big, not too small. 250,000, like this burg I live in, is too damn many. Oh, thanks for stopping in, Rusty Iron. I appreciate it, man. Getting 300. Yes, sir. Absolutely. It's a lot of work, too. Right on you, man. Right on you. Well, have a good night. Thanks for stopping in, bud. I'm fluffy. Well, I wish I was fluffy. It seems to hit the door before I do. I tried telling the women it's a fuel tank for a sex machine, but they don't really believe me. It's worth a shot. I'll be picking on Chris. He's a good guy. Or actually, he's probably bagging on me to you. Edmonton is over 900. Good Lord. 981,000? Forget that. No. No. There's no way. That's too many. Way too many. I don't know what the whole county, well, because I mean, our county bleeds into the northern and eastern county a little bit too, because the cities to the east are right on our border. And of course, we're not very far away from the cities to the north. If you added them all together, the number starts getting bigger. But the metro area around here, it's like 250, maybe getting close to 300 now. Too damn many. Way too many people. Way too many. I would love to relocate somewhere smaller. Mater, the only way I'm going to get a six-pack stomach is I'm leaning on a wire fence. That's the only way it's going to happen. That's the only way. Have a good night, Chaz. Thanks for stopping in, man. I'll catch up on those vids. Definitely going to be watching out for the new painting one. Sorry. Trying to read and talk at the same time. So if any of you guys, well, I don't know if there's much left. I've been buying a bunch of shit like crazy. Mid-50s closing their doors at the end of the month. They're a supplier for. They started off mainly doing 53 to 56 Ford trucks, and then they opened it up to the 48 to 52s, and then they expanded to the 57 to 66, and then 67 to 72. Anyway, they pretty much were opening up all the trucks right before COVID hit, and then the supply chain, I think, hurt them real bad, and then people kind of got hard on them. Mid-50 is a really good group of people. Sai, the lady that owns it, awesome lady. I mean, I emailed her with lots of questions, and she helped me out with a lot of stuff. Great people to work with. Unfortunately, they kind of got hit hard by COVID, and then things just never caught back up. They didn't want to fool around with the pricing either, because I think a lot of stuff went up. Yeah, they're pulling the plug. 40 years in business. So, anyways, they're pretty much doing a clear out. I think there's a lot of their stuff's 50% off. So if you're looking for anything, hit them up. Um, they have things listed, but if there's a big call for it, they might send you one or two if you order four, or they may axe it off your order. They're basically just selling what's in stock, and that's it. That's a lot of that stuff there on the table. That's what I 50% off, man. You can't beat it. And I've been doing business with them for the past 10 years. So I figure if my money's going to go anywhere, it's going to go to them before they close the doors. They're really good people. Oh, yeah. Chris is trying to coax me into buying yet another project. Which, ironically, this is really strange. Living in the Pacific Northwest, I don't own a four-wheel drive. I think I only owned one four-wheel drive, and it never ran. Well, it never was going to run because it was missing a lot of stuff. So this might be interesting. Chris is trying to hook me up with this neighbor of his that's got a truck. So I'm Ollie's Garage may have yet another project vehicle. We'll have to see how this pans out. I need another one of those, like I need a hole in my head, but when you got as many as I do, what's another one, right? All right, Mater. Hey, Mater, I wanted to ask you, did you want to get added on to the next Garage Trivia spot? I think Kev was wanting to do another one too. Kev's Can Cave. I think the April slot's the next one. So I meant to ask you if that was, you're not on the, I do a lot of the scheduling off of Bryce's Facebook. I can't remember the name of the group now. I'm terrible with that. So if you want, I can put you down for April. And if Kev wants to do the other April spot with you, we'll fill that in. Was that cool? I know you're not on the Facebook thing, so that's why I wanted to ask you here. So that's cool. I'll put you down for April. And I'll see if Kev wants to come back on there, or if anybody else that hasn't been on the show yet. Trying to get some fresh meat on there. But if there's nobody that throws their hand up, I'll bring back anybody. It's kind of cool getting a little bit organized these days. I don't know what that's like. Dancing, Chris isn't little. Chris towers over me. He's a big dude. So he's not sitting on my shoulders. I might be perched on his. Gentle giant of sorts. He's definitely corn-fed. So that goes for anybody else too. Going back to the game show, if anyone's interested, if you're on the YouTube help group that Bryce has, I got a little. There should be one thread for talking about joining it, and then there's another one that shows where we're at with who's in the lineup. So if you want to sign up, or let me know here, that works too. Once Auto Salvage Outlaws can actually show up to one, I'll bring him back on. And not do it as he's driving down the road. I'm screwing with you, man. We'll get you back on sometime when it works out. Mid-50s. Yes, Mid-50s website dancing was actually a really, really good website. I really liked their site. It was real easy to find stuff. It makes me sad they're closing. I really like doing business with Cy. She was in it. They're in Arizona. It was quick shipping. I know the East Coast guys are probably using Dennis Carpenter and what's the other big one out there? There's a couple big ones on the East Coast, but man, for the West Coast, Sacramento Vintage, Mid-50, and there was one more I used. Those three were like my go-tos. Oh, you're on the Facebook group. Really? I tried looking for you. Does it go by your real name or something? Maybe that's why I couldn't find you. I was trying to tag you in the thing to find out if you were interested or not. So if you're in the group, I'll see if I can find you. Because when you sign up, then I try to tag your name in it so everyone knows who everyone is. Uh, yeah, it's been a little while. Well, my Sunday's Foster is usually pretty busy. I'm trying to get things wrapped up for the week, and um, I want to come in on the lives, but I'm usually just scrambling to get shit ready for the next day. And Saturdays and Fridays aren't too bad. I'm typically busy, but man, it's so cold out. I just said to hell with it. Came in the shop, and well, I'm usually working on stuff, but no one really had a live going on I could listen to. So here I am. But yeah, I need to go and visit Buzzard a couple more times. It's been a little while since I've been there. Say hi to Woody and them guys. Just Sunday nights lately, just gotten really ever since everything, all that COVID garbage has been gone and all that. It's the weekends are not what they used to be. Oh, nice. Fire and beer. Well, right on, man. Enjoy. Thanks for stopping in, Chris. I'll look at that last post, Mater. I must have missed it somewhere. I'm not on Facebook too terribly much, and I have two different profiles, anyways. I got the Ollie's Garage one, and then I got my normal one. I didn't want to mix them up. That way, I don't piss off the entire planet with my political crap that I do on my personal one. Try to keep things a little more calm on the business end. Well, we've been going for an hour and 15, hour and 18. That's pretty darn good for an impromptu. I appreciate it. You guys all sliding in. I'm excited for the holidays to be over. I don't know about you guys. I mean, I don't mind Christmas. It's the whole lead up to it, kind of the hustle bustle and all that crap. Once the day of Christmas hits, I'm usually happy. You know, when it's family and relax and all that stuff. It's the whole everything leading up to it. I still haven't got my damn tree yet. I'm gonna go get that tomorrow. I'm gonna go kill one, and one of the guys I work with has got his family tree farm. We'll go out there and buy one from him. But yeah, you liked my comment on video editing software. I did. See, so you must be using your real name. I didn't know who the hell that was. Mater. All right, I'll go back and look. I don't keep track of. Let me see. I don't know if it'll pull up on my phone. Ready for it to be. Yeah, yeah, me too. I mean, I don't mind the whole Christmas thing. I enjoy it. It's just the whole leading up to it. And I pretty much tell everyone, don't buy me anything. I don't want nothing. I mean, I'm to the point now where I can get most of the stuff I want or need. I just yeah. If you got to buy me some stupid little insignificant thing just to have a gift to give, that's fine, whatever. But don't go crazy. I'm not in the whole gift thing. I'd rather just do the family time, have some good eats, just get together, chill, whatever. It's about one of the few days I don't do anything. So that to me is my present, I guess. um, yeah, I hate shopping. I mean, let me revise that. I love shopping when it's for car stuff, but nobody else, none of my family members are really into the car stuff. So it's like shopping's no fun for me. I got you a tie. What's the tie? Oh, I'm afraid to even see what it is. uh, oh, Oh, Fox, if you're still in here, I seen the message you just sent. He sent me the super cab that he's looking at. The F-250 super cab. For that price, man, and it doesn't, it looks like it's got a little bit of rot, but nothing major. That's not a bad deal. I mean, it looks fairly clean. Take it for a drive, see how it is. I think in 91, though, let me think. I don't know if the 91s had overdrive or not. It seems to me they didn't. I don't think they had an overdrive transmission behind the 460 until the 90s. They were using a C6 instead. I think. Don't quote me on that. That would be the only drawback. Obviously, that would affect fuel mileage on the freeway. Yeah. Right. Well, 90 it was in 92. Yeah, but that was the small block. The big block was longer. I almost think the freaking big block was like 95, 96. They were still using, I know one of our 2-ton dump trucks was on that OBS chassis, and I think it was a 96 or 95. It had a C6 in it. So I'm wondering if the 460s had the overdrive in 91. So I don't know if that's a concern, Fox, or not, if you wanted it to be overdrive or not. I know it's something I definitely would look at if you're going to take it on the highway. Because they like to drink fuel. Let me see if I can find that meter. I'm not the fastest on this device. Okay. Well, this might take a while. Yeah, I'm thinking the big blocks, it was like a little later than the small blocks. Really? You're going to sell the Ram 50? I didn't think you would sell that truck. She likes that little Ram, though, doesn't she? Let's see. Where was that? Uh-oh. Where was that notification? See, that's the problem is I get too much crap on here that I don't know where it's at. Oh, I see you now. Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't notice your yeah, now I see the meter. Why didn't I see that before? Crazy. All right. Now I know who you are. You want me tagging you in the thing by that name? That probably doesn't matter, does it? Now I see. I'm not really observant if you haven't noticed. It depends on what it is. There's so many comments I get on that thing, and I'm usually sitting down to eat lunch or have a snack or something. I'm just turbo going through my phone real quick, looking at all the posts and stuff, and I don't pay attention to details like the guy's avatar or whatever that thing is. I'm just like, oh yeah, cool, yeah. Ooh, she loves it. I don't know, Fox. If she likes it, that's a good little first rig, really. If she's going to be driving that all the time, that little 50 is a tough truck to trade up the big truck for. Maybe you can work her into a payment plan. Buy the Ram 50 for $3,000. No, maybe. Right? Did you see me squinting on the phone, Mater? I don't have my glasses out here. I meant to bring them out and I forgot. I'm trying to read the chat in the window here, and it's not working out to my favor or in my favor. Even though it's a big monitor, I thought it would show up a little bit bigger. I don't know if I can change that. Yeah, I don't know. Has my volume been okay, or has it been too loud or too quiet? I'm just now noticing there's a volume register. I don't know if I can turn it up at all. I don't know why it's so bright and why it looks like that. It's really not that bright. It's like my camera is like, I don't know. The camera's picking it up way brighter than it really is. It's not really that bright. So the E4OD available in 89 to 91. The F250C6 and the AOD also. So I know for a fact the AOD is only going to be behind a small block. And I'm going to guess the E4OD was probably only behind the 351 Windsor available in an F250, which they did do. They put 351 Windsors, and they did put a 302 in an F250. I think it was in front of a 5-speed. But the E4OD, that was the transmission they used later on, though, I think. Yes, it was. So maybe it was available. I don't know. The 80s trucks, the bull noses and the brick noses and stuff, I never followed real closely. I was in the bump and dent sides. Of course, they were dirt cheap up until a few years ago. Yeah, well, the first few years of the E4OD, it was only good behind a small block. They were just not strong enough. That's what I'm trying to think. They did something to them because I know subsequently after the dumper that we had, you could get the E4OD behind a big block. Or maybe they just knew better than to put it in the what was it? That was either F450 or F550 with a 460. So maybe they just never had them in those at all, period. Well, and see, that's where one of the things I'm looking at, I actually bought, I'm trying to remember what year it is. I think it's a 95 or 6 E4OD. Yeah, I think it is. Maybe it's a little earlier than that. I bought one of those to put in my brown Super Cab behind my 460. But I've also been looking at doing gear vendors. Oh, you're going to bed? Have a good night, Mater. Thanks for dropping in, man. We'll get you on the April list. Appreciate it. I've been wanting to put an overdrive in my Super Cab truck. It likes to drink the old fuels on the highway. But gear vendors, I think they used to be around $2,500. I'm afraid to know how much they are now. But by the time you get an E4OD, tear it apart, replace all the weak shit, do the standard rebuild, then you got to find a standalone controller for it. Which the last time I looked at the controllers, there was only a couple outfits that made one, and they're like maybe $500, something like that. So, hey, Taco, how's it going, man? You just now get notified? Yeah, speedy like the government, right? Oh, well, glad you made it. Haven't seen Bryce, so he might be playing good boyfriend or good husband or whatever tonight. Or he better be working on that car after I just sent him tools. Wow. Well, I'll be honest with you. This was an impromptu night. I wasn't planning on doing a live. Like I was telling these guys before, I got on. I was wanting to listen to somebody else's while I was supposed to be fixing my light. Nobody was on. And I was like, well, I don't know. Hell, I'll jump on for a little bit. So here I am. And we've been on for about an hour and a half. He might be snowed in. I don't think so. He might be out there throwing hammers around trying to get that stupid drum off that car. But anyways, Fox, I'm definitely in the same category of looking for a big block overdrive. I like my 460. It's just the overdrive would really be nice to have, either gear vendors or E4OD or something. And here's the other thing worth thinking of. Depending on how much towing you do, ASO may be even right on this one as well. That could be another weak point with E4OD is you won't be able to tow in that overdrive with that thing either. Whereas with the gear vendors, you can throw it into overdrive and tow with it. E4OD, they say not to do that. So if you're not geared right, you're going to be in the left lane doing double nickel with the friggin' thing tacked out. Anyways, I do pull car trailers more often than I should. I need to stop. I need to stay off Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. It's bad. Really bad. See, I think Bryce is still an hour behind now because they don't do the time change. It's only 8:30 there, almost 8:30. Oh, okay, well, that makes sense. Too lazy. Well, it's when you got a shift, you risk spilling your beer, and you don't want to do that. You get it all over your seat. Yeah, the ASO, yeah. That's like I keep hearing the E4ODs. If you don't take them out overdrive, they like to scatter. But then again, I've heard some guys went inside, changed a bunch of stuff when they rebuilt them, and they're dynamites. I don't know. It depends how much money you want to spend, I guess. You need to stop that word. Yeah, dancing. Totally with you on that one. This day job crap really gets in the way of getting anything done. Unfortunately, I need to have it to pay for this hoard of trash behind me in the buildings it's stored in. Dude, Bryce is a lot taller than I ever thought. I didn't realize he was as tall as he was till he was standing next to some other guys who I knew. I was at, I think it was when he was over at Destroyers, and I was like, "Holy cow, the kid's got some height on him." Or he's stuffed in that truck. I really started paying attention because I know how I sit in my dent side Fords, and I look at him. He's kind of cramped up in that thing. I'm like, how in the hell can you be cramped up in those trucks? There's lots of room. Because I know Bryce was wanting to get an older car, and he kept looking at Model A's and stuff like that. I'm like, not a good idea, dude. Not as tall as you are. Model A's are not height friendly. And I think I showed him some 40 stuff, 40 to 40, like the 46 to 48 Fords are still somewhat reasonable. Some of that. And then, of course, then the Dodge popped up. Perfect, because that was the other car I was showing him was the 50 to 52s, the shoe boxes, and then the 52 to 54s, stuff like that. Stuff is still reasonable. Isn't off the freaking charts yet. But I think he did good with Morticia. What I'm finding out, though, which is probably because Dodge isn't super popular like Chevy and Ford, parts for that freaking car are expensive when you can find them. Oh, yeah. So you know how tall he is. 6'4". Yeah. He's a tall dude. I'm 5'11", so it's like yeah. I think the Dodge is going to work out perfect. Just getting past some of the expenses. I've been he's got me looking up a lot of crap. I don't know why. I like to hunt for parts. So when he's mentioning things, I'm on the internet just surfing around, seeing what's out there. Like found some different disc brake setups for the front that'll work with the suspension on it. It's all a money game though. Like anything else you build, it's all on how much money you want to spend. I mean, and how fast do you want it? Those two things. How much money you want to spend and how fast do you want it? Can you wait and shop around? You know, do you want to look around a little bit more for other options, or do you need it right now and you don't care how much it costs? That's the name of it. That's part of the reason why I hoard stuff, because I get stuck on a project and I just stop because I don't want to pay the inflated crap prices. I'll sit and wait, and then I'll get back to it when I finally find the parts. I am a midget taco. Yes, I am. I am built for speed and cornering. Well, I used to be built for speed. Gotten kind of fat, but now how the hell are you 6'2" and his wife's like short? Or at least she looks short standing next to him. Is it a 50? Oh, Danson, it's a 52 Dodge Wayfarer Coupe. So it's the business coupe, depending on how they list it. So a 52 Dodge Wayfarer business coupe. And they actually did make quite a few of them. Honorary 6 foot. Well, I think the closest I ever got to 6 foot was when I was wearing 3 pairs of socks doing my weigh-ins in the military. So that was it gave me another half of an inch. So I was well, 5 was it 70 71 and a half. Duh. That was so I could get an extra, I don't know what, 5 pounds added to my weight to height ratio for I was doing my weigh-ins. That was one of the tricks we used to do, is wear like 3 pairs of socks when they did our height check. It's been a night. Math is not my strong point right now. So if somebody finds if they find a 52 Wayfarer anywhere, junkyard or not, it's just the thing. They're not like Fords and Chevys. They're not laying all over the damn place. And the Plymouth version is basically the same, other than the well, I think they might have a little bit different. Were they open driveline or closed? There's some similarities between the Plymouth version and even the Chrysler and DeSoto. That much I figured out. The body shape itself is pretty damn close between all of them. It's the trims and some of the other options. Like I think one of those 4 was running an open driveline. I don't remember which it was. And of course, when did the Hemi start coming in those? Was it right around that time, I think, wasn't it? The real small red Rams. I don't know. I don't know Chrysler, the early Chrysler stuff that well. I'm pretty sure in those years, the 49, 50, 51, somewhere around in there, they started doing the the original Hemis, which would be pretty cool if he get his hands on one of those, but they are not cheap. But definitely be paying attention to his channel. He's going to be having some good stuff coming on. I kept him well supplied with some things to do. Keep that car moving. Then I got to get my own stuff going. I don't think I've put out a video in months. A few stupid shorts. I'm kind of stuck. I owe Super Clean a video, and well, I haven't done it yet. And I feel bad if I shove some of my own videos ahead of the Super Clean video. I kind of feel guilty. So I'm like, I just need to push it out. I keep redoing it because I don't like how it's turning out. It's one of those projects where when you get offered the thing, you're thinking about it, like, oh yeah, you got all these great ideas. Then it takes them 2.5 months to get the crap to you. And then now you're moved on to, well, I had kids sports, so I was busy, and I tried shooting stuff between it all, and then I lost the mojo, and it just, yeah. I'm about ready just to send them a check for the crap they sent me and say, sorry about your bad luck. I'm not a billboard. I don't know. But I need to get some stuff out. Part of it is getting all this mess in here cleaned up, then I'll have some time to do some editing. What deal did they have? Ooh, Super Clean? They send you probably the same thing to everybody, I think. It seems like that. They send you a general cleaner, a spray can of, I think it's the same kind of cleaner, but it's just in an aerosol can, and then a wheel cleaner. And they just want you to try it out and shoot a video showing you using the stuff and how well, which, don't get me wrong, I've been using Super Clean for, probably over 20 years since they've basically came out. It's really good stuff. I mean, believe it or not, I've cleaned my carpets, the interior door panels, plastic stuff. I even got crazy one time and my shower floor got real nasty because I was being lazy and not wanting to clean it. It's a one-man ship around here, and sometimes the ship don't feel like coming to port with cleaning. So I went ahead and used it on my shower floor. Man, it worked awesome. I mean, way easier than the crap you buy at the store. So, yeah, I mean, this stuff's great. I use it for damn near everything. It's not cheap, but it definitely, for being biodegradable, it works really well. And there's my video. Right there. You want to see it? Come to my live. But I think if you wanted to, Danson, I could get you some information. And if you want to do a video for them, they'll send you out some stuff. They do it to a lot of different channels. Taco's like, there you go, it's done. Right? What am I going to do with all that footage I shot then? Trying to look like I was cool or something. I did too. I bought a little compressor, a stand-up compressor, and I used it on that. I filmed it. I took the screens off my house and showed it how it worked on cleaning my screens real easily, and like the bathroom I mentioned, the shower tub, and then I did a couple engines with it. I mean, I shot all this footage. I start putting it together, and I look at it, and in my mind, it sucks. Dancing, their channel's not small. It's bigger than mine, for crying out loud. And besides, you have a unique format in the way you shoot your videos. It might be interesting to see what you do with the stuff. Their biggest thing is to basically just get your opinion on it and show their product what it does. And I don't see why you couldn't. Well, that's interesting. I could do it that way. Yeah, that's true. That might have been a good idea at the beginning of this, almost 2 hours ago. I think if I did that dancing, I'd have to wait till it was warmer out so I could use the water because I don't want to run the water in here. But yeah, that would be an idea. That's probably what I should have done last summer. See, where were you last summer on this? I could have been done and over with. Oh well, I'll get it done. I start on it and I don't like the way it's going, or it looks stupid, or it isn't flowing right. Because I shot all these different things at different times. I mean, I think the shop like changed 3 different times in the background. My hair was super long when I started, and I cut it off. It's just like it's bad. It's my procrastination at its finest, I think. Sleeping behind. Well, yeah. I'll tell you though, the super clean stuff does work. I see. There's some times I used it, which it really would have been good footage. I bought this '88 OBS Chevy. It was a black on black short bed K1500. Anyways, the carpet in it, well, I thought it was black. It was actually dark blue interior. It was so dingy, nasty, greasy, and oily, the carpet. I went ahead and soaked it with a super clean and just use a brush on it, and I just used a wet towel and toweled it all off. Man, it brought that freaking carpet back. I was floored. And I'd done this before on a tan carpet in one of my Denside Fords. And it was mostly dirt and a little bit of oil and grease, but the Chevy carpet was really bad. And it did. It cleaned it all up pretty much. I should send the note to the super clean people. Yeah, here's your video. Just go watch the end of my live. I think they kind of want to see the product in action. See, dancing, where were you at? That's a great idea. I should have just done that to begin with. Well, to be honest with you, last summer I didn't even have the internet out to the shop here. That was one of my big goals, was to get the internet out here before this winter. Because I was going to get some more things done in the shop, having internet out here. And for the past 2 hours, I've been shooting the breeze, not getting anything done. That's all right. I enjoy spending time with you guys. The 6 that are remaining in here. I've got the lighting. I don't know why it looks so bright. It's weird. Let me see if I turn the camera down. Does that change it at all? No, it does. It does. It looks like I'm on the bottom of the sun or something here. Now you just see my fat gut. ASO hasn't fallen asleep yet. Apparently, Bryce has got me set up to do the after party after the next game show. So we'll be doing it again then. I'll be doing the StreamYard version of it on that one. I kind of like this. I don't know, but I'm sure you guys probably hate it, but I kind of like this format because then I can kind of hear everybody. I feel like you get into the StreamYard thing and the guys in chat kind of get ignored, and it kind of sucks. At least here I can kind of follow everybody, That's my thoughts. Maybe I'm full of shit. Dancing. I don't know why the lighting is like that. That's it. I'm going to freaking screw with it. Turn it down somehow. Get on the radio. You know what's weird is ever since I started doing a lot of the filming and stuff, I've gotten used to not having the radio on. I used to come out here and I would not be able to work in the shop without some kind of background noise. And then since I started shooting film 2 or 3 years ago, doing these videos, I've gotten used to not having it on, which is weird. Because the copyright police come knocking on your door for having decent music in the background playing. Stupid. I wish I could take credit for it, Dance. I don't know what I did. On my TV screen, I mean, it looks disgustingly bright. I don't know why. I'm assuming that must be the way it looks on your guys' screen, too. Oh, ham radio. Oh. They're growing because Big Brother's pulling their BS. Everyone wants to get on ham to stay off the freaking. Well, I guess they can listen to you there too. Well, that's cool. Ham radio is something that needs to keep going. A lot of equipment involved in that stuff. Soft diffuser 390s. Really, Dancing? Send me a link for that. I had a CB with a linear in high school. That was fun. And an Echo mic. And then when I went to New Mexico, where four-wheeling came in real handy out there. I used to run dual antennas like a redneck in the back of my truck. It looked retarded, but it was fun. They were too close together and the signal was never coming out right because they're designed to be on the outside of the semi mirrors. They had to be like 8 feet apart or something. Dean still roaming around. What are you doing, Dean? It's probably nice, bushy, and early in the morning to you, isn't it? Half of us are about ready to push face to the house, myself included. Oh, man, it's only 9, not even 10 o'clock yet. I'm getting old. Hang on a second. I need to grab me another cold one. Nice thing about this time of year, you don't need a refrigerator. You just throw it on the hood of the rig sitting outside. It's a built-in refrigerator. So everybody but Bryce showed up tonight. I'm going to give him hell for that. Just because I can. Well. What's up, Tony? Tony's another buddy of mine. He lives not too far from me. I only have 2 beers time. Good way to gauge it. I figure around the 2-hour mark, we probably kill it anyways. Actually, this Puke Combs can, I had another half rack sitting out there in my front garage. I must have thrown some shit on top of it. I didn't see it. So we're killing off the remainder of this because no, Puke Combs cans were a little behind. They came and went already. I didn't realize that crap was on the can, or otherwise I might not have bought it. Danson, be quiet. It isn't set yet. I haven't even seen it. See, Tony knows. I need to buy a forklift here pretty soon and start stacking them. I need to get this mess in here cleaned up and start working on some stuff. Need this holiday stuff to go by so I can get back to it. Been farting around with my Christmas lights, my mom's Christmas lights, trees tomorrow. Yeah, I probably don't need another truck, do I, Dean? Four posts, two Carla. Well, the problem is, Tony, is I only have room for the one because the ceiling isn't tall enough on the other side. So I really don't have room for another lift. And if I got to put if I had to store one on a lift just to have room to work, I think I need an intervention. I need to get rid of some shit. No, well, I can't raise the roof. The county wouldn't let me build it any taller. I'm not in a big enough chunk of land. Otherwise, I probably would have. I need to make it rich and then go buy lots of land somewhere and just start piling cars up like Vice Grip does. I'm a little envious. I like his setup. I could definitely get along with that. One thing's for certain, Danson, you will not see me ever own an electric truck. Never going to happen. I will illegally make my own fuel if it comes down to it. Stubborn as I may be. I don't know, but I'm not going to say I won't jump on the hydrogen bandwagon if depending on where that goes. But I will extend a tall and lengthy middle finger to the electricity crowd. It's not the place right now. They don't know about my neighbor. Oh yeah, he's still beating me. He won't sell none of his trucks. That's the problem. He's 70, almost 80 years old, and he's going to restore them or something. I don't know. I'd say they were chicken coops, but there's no chickens over there either. They're garbage at all of them. Right, Danson? You're not wrong. But I will tell you this. My newest rig is an 03, and I don't really like working on that damn thing because of all that crap. My 78 is supposed to be my driver, but it needs some work done to it yet before I can put her back on the street. I've been driving around with the check engine light on my 03 for a while because I've trying to figure out what the hell's wrong with the evap system. There's something that's tripping a code in the evap, and it's not anything under the hood. I've already checked it out or swapped it out. So there's something underneath the truck, either on the gas tank or on the line to it or something that I'm missing that's tripping this thing. That includes the gas cap. I did replace that too. It was getting old. But that stupid piece of crap and its computer garbage infuriates me. Especially, yeah. See, is North Korea and Japan and China like well, look at it this way, Dean. Think of them as levels of quality. Put China on the bottom, North Korea in the middle, and Japan on top. They're in the same region, but there's definitely different quality. Japan is much better quality than either of the two. Korea's middle of the road for sure. I don't know. I try not to buy any China crap. It's really hard not to. More C-cab. Yeah, they can't see it in the video. There's a C cab sitting right back there. Um, it's coming, Tony. It's coming. I have to remove the stacks of crap around it first. Ooh, there you go, Dean. Put ASO to work. Well, I don't know. Canada and New Zealand doesn't isn't there already aluminum parts manufactured in New Zealand? I thought there was. What the hell was the name of that? Somebody's making cylinder heads either in Australia or New Zealand. I can't remember which. Because I know my machinist guy, um, he's bought them from there before. Can't remember the brand of them. Illuminati. Well, I hope you'd pay him, Dean. ASO is a good dude. Yeah, I gotta clean this shit off yet, and I can start cutting the rest of my siding. That's the ends of my shed I have to finish yet. And I'll start. You'll be able to see. I'll get all that garbage out of the way, and eventually show you the car Tony's talking about. It's buried. You can't really see it. I'm gonna set up a 401 compliant company. What's a 401 compliant? I don't know, Dean. He's still there. We're still waiting to see this Thunderbird we keep hearing about. I don't know if you want him running your assembly line. You gonna make it to no name this next year around ASO? Is that Thunderbird gonna make it? Tony. Oh no! Don't get started on that. Don't even go there. You know what? You know you're gonna hear from me. Not looking good. We're not even in 24 yet, and he's already pulling the plug. Well, I get it. I mean, times are rough. I'm not going to say anything bad about that. It's hard for a lot, man. Joker and the freaking his regime running this place is not doing a very good job. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole right now. How is ASO pronounced by ESO? Oh boy. Shots fired. Freaking Dean. Oh. Cute. One of the guys I went and bought the 4-speed from, he had a set of Cobra Jet aluminum big block Ford heads. He was offering them to me. They were out of the box. Well, one was out of the box. The other one was still in the box. $1,800. I didn't have the $1,800, but it was a really, really good deal. It made me want to go into debt for aluminum. And I'm trying to remember, the valve train was set up for a roller cam for up to 700 lift. Oh yeah, yeah, they were. And you're getting the brand of them. I'm trying to remember the brand. Whoever makes the Cobra Jet replica heads in aluminum, I can't remember the brand. They were nice. They were light, very light. What? Really? I, if you want to make a bobblehead of me, I don't care. I want 20% though. I don't know. I never messed around with. I don't know Uncle Brian. I know the name, but I don't. I've never been part of any of that stuff. That was before my time. Any thoughts of putting together a quarter eighth mile car? How about if I just stick to the thoughts of putting together a car? I'm sure it'll go down the eighth of the quarter. I just need to get one put together. Well, I had one at one time. You remember my Mustang? You saw how far that got, so that's kind of where that project went. I think I tried to run that Mustang. I kept getting busted at tech. It was one thing or another. It wasn't a cool can, or because it was a rear mounted battery, I didn't have the switch on the outside, or some crap like that. I never got to run. I just got pissed off and street raced it instead. Stupid rules. There's a reason I got 4 channels. I can barely keep up with one, Dean. I don't know how you're doing it. Blue Mustang that went boom. Yeah, I blew the first motor up in it. Yep. And there's one in it now, but I think it's become a milkshake maker or something. Something weird's going on with it. I mean, it seems to run fine on an oil water mix. It starts. That one was that. Well, okay, so that engine right there, the red oil pan, that one has airflow research heads on it. That engine was destined to go into the Mustang 12 years ago. It's about how long it's been sitting there. I don't know if it's that long, but that engine is pretty healthy. I bought it out of another rig. Buddy was selling. Was putting a slower engine in it, making it more into a custom rather than a race car, which is where the previous owner was going with it. So he sold me that engine, and it had a FMX, had a balance issue. I think they had the wrong flex plate on there. So, anyways, I want to investigate this engine some more because I think this is a 50-ounce engine, and they had it set up like it was a 28-ounce. It had a bit of a vibration. Other than that, the thing sounded super healthy. So that may end up in the Mustang. One of these days. You know how that goes. I was a doomsday prepper before. Dean, I'm a different kind of doomsday prepper. I just collect weapons and I rob the doomsday preppers. My mom's kind of cornering the market on the doomsday prepping stuff. Well, I don't think anyone's worried about being noble when it's coming down to survival, right? You who don't got it, wants it, goes to those who have it and offer to share it or take it. Of course, a good doomsday prepper will have weapons too to prevent guys like me from taking it. God, if I spent my money on everything I think I should probably have, I wouldn't have. Well, I pretty much have nothing now, but yeah, to buy all the doomsday stuff. Of course, a cool doomsday rig would be a mid 80s four-wheel drive van totally decked out. I could do that. I don't know about that. I got too much FOMOCO parts. And the funny thing, I'm starting to mark all the stuff I buy because I get worried that I'm going to croak like, I don't know, at any given time. And my kids are just going to make one freaking call and it all goes away. So I've been writing on it, what it goes to or what it kind of fits, and then what I think it's worth, at least at this time, so that when I do CAC or kickoff or whatever, at least the kids might have enough sense. Of course, I'm banking on the fact they're not lazy, that they might actually take the time to sell this stuff. I'm not holding my breath. I'll be dead anyway, so it's not like it, But I realize I have so much crap, and neither one of these two, I wanted to say idiots, but maybe they're smart. They don't know much about this stuff, so yeah, I've been starting to market. And secretly, not wanting to admit it, it's also so I can remember it when I'm too damn old. I'm staring at it going, the hell does this go to? That way I can remember. Oh, ASO, yeah. If they were smart, they'd yard sale it and probably for next to nothing. Maybe I should mark the prices of that stuff up a little bit more on the package. I'm thinking an Explorer single red cam V6 French gearbox that fits into a Mustang too. Those gearboxes that are in the Mustang twos, is that what you're talking about? Or no, a French gearbox. I'd have to see those. I know the gearboxes in the Mustang twos are junk. Don't waste your time on those. I'm not sure what the French one is. Maybe a much better unit. But I think you can get a T5 behind that too. Well, I was hoping one of them would, ASO. When my daughter was super little, I got photographs. I built my 56 right after my divorce. My daughter was like, I don't know, 2 or 3, and I got pictures of her. She's sitting on the hood or on the fender while I was trying to get the engine broke in and or put together. I think my son was there when I was breaking it in. I was trying to immerse the kids in it, but it's just like they weren't really into it. But she was out here when she was really young, helping me with a lot of stuff. And I think I got another picture. She was laying underneath my O3 with me when I was changing the power steering pump on it. I thought she might have been my little grease monkey, but all of a sudden, huge right turn into we don't talk to dad much anymore and we're buried on the internet all the time. That's pretty much where she went. And then my son was showing a little bit of interest. Well, more than that, I guess. But he was getting ready to leave for the military. We worked on his, he's got a 76 Mustang too, as well as his Ranger. My dad gave him the Mustang too. Uh, I bought the Ranger for him. So he did some of the work on that. Whenever we did work on the Ranger, I had him out here. And him and my dad were supposed to work on the Mustang too. That car needs a total restoration, which is why I bought the Ranger. Way too much work on that Mustang too. But he didn't want to get rid of it because it was something Grandpa gave him. So I don't know. We'll see. That's the blue one that was on my channel too. That Mustang too. That's his car. Well, I'll tell you what, ASO, I got a lot of crap, so I don't know if they're going to want to keep it all anyways. I'm finding out that my dad was the same thing. He's got as much crap as I do. I don't think he has many cars. I think he only had 7 or 8 cars, but he's got 50 years worth of Ford stuff. And if it wasn't for me, my brother doesn't really know much about the car stuff. My mom didn't really pay any attention to it either. So I'm the only one that knows about all that crap in there. And that's the cars you see me working on some of my shorts is my dad's stuff, trying to put it back together. And what I'm going to do with after that, well, it's still all mom's stuff. So I don't, whatever she decides to do with it. Her car, I need to get finished. Yeah, when they were young, at least when my daughter was young, she didn't mind being out here. And I even had, kind of like what I'd call outside clothes. But at that age, I think all the clothes ends up like that because the kids were just, she was a little dirt devil back then. But she liked to wear skirts. So I made sure that she was wearing a dark skirt or a skirt that I could easily get grease and shit off of in case she brushed into something out here. It was all nasty. But yeah, she used to come out here and hand tools and watch what I was doing. And I thought for sure she was going to be the next little wrench girl, but nope. FMX. I see. Yeah, the only problem though is the C3 was kind of a weak transmission to begin with. I don't know how well the A4LD holds up. So going back to that single overhead cam, are you talking like the 3/8 or are you talking the Cologne engines? Because those are 2 different transmission bolt patterns altogether. Yep. Well, I don't know. Some of their crap they reworked didn't come out so well, but most of it wasn't bad. The FMX gets a lot of hate, but it's a good transmission. 4.0 Cologne. Okay, yeah. Yep. I'll tell you what. The boy's got the 4.0 in his Ranger. That engine's got some kick and go. I mean, I was kind of impressed. I don't know I don't know what automatic's behind it. It's an overdrive. It's a good runner. The transmission's acting funny though. Sometimes it bangs into reverse. It shifts fine. It just acts a little weird. But that 4-liter, his truck's a 92, so it's at 91, 92, 4.0. That thing runs strong. It does use a little bit of fuel, but it runs strong. But going back to the FMX, there was a lot of hate mail with that transmission. But man, those were actually really strong transmission. They just weighed a lot. The cast iron case is kind of what killed them. I think if they would have come out with aluminum case version of it, the FMX might have had some more popularity. I do like their bell housings on the FMX because they span such a different array of engines that it can bolt up to them. Because I think they had a bell housing for the small block, the FE, the big block, and was there one of the inline sixes? I thought there was. Maybe there wasn't. Maybe it was just the three. But it was kind of nice because you had the one transmission. You could change the bell housing on it to match different engines. The input shaft or torque converter was the other thing you had to change, but no big deal. Was it really? Holy cow. Well, that 5 liter in the Explorer, man, wasn't it geared real crappy or it was the horsepower was turned down? Oh, does it? Okay. 4.2 S6. Okay. Yep. The V6. Yep. I actually, you know what, Dean? I think I have one of those V6 overdrive units from a 4.2. I think I picked one. Someone gave it to me. I had to see if I still have it. I didn't know what to do with it because it was, I thought being from a V6 maybe there was something different about it or it was lighter duty. Might have to figure out a rig to shove that into. So I am on the hunt. You guys could keep a lookout for me. I need a particular top from a Jeep. Well, what would the year range be? What year is it? Anyways, it was the Jeep's 5-speed. They had a 5-speed transmission they used, and it was a top shift. I'm looking for the top and the shift lever. I'm trying to remember it was at T176. So a Jeep T176. I need the top and lever from it. If y'all know of one, they're a little hard to find. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with it when I get one. The 50 XLT had crazy exhaust, no canisters. Yep. I think they really choked down the 5 liter in it. I don't even know why they bothered to put it in the Explorer if they were going to do that. That was so stupid. Just the 5R55. Okay. I don't know much about that one. Yep. I need the top and the lever to one of those. Basically, the whole top shift setup. Just unbolt the top and lever assembly right off transmission. That's what I'm looking for. Have to have the forks and everything with it, too. It all should come out as one unit. Just unbolt the top. Dean might know what I'm doing. He's a pretty sharp guy. He might have a clue. I was going to do this with a T150 top, which I have around here somewhere, and a 3-speed. But now I managed to find me a 4-speed overdrive. And that's my goal for my 50. So if you trip across the T176 top, I don't know if I followed Beamers. I know they probably won't be cheap. That's why I haven't really been throwing it out. And I got about a million other things to do anyways first. But if you run across one, you mean Beamer's Garage, is that who you're talking about? I don't know Jamie Phillips. Must be a channel I'm not familiar with. Taco's on his last beer. That's going to be the end of it. I'm about halfway down on this one. Oh, it's already been almost 2.5 hours. Holy crap. Junk car Willie's feed. Yeah, I mean, if you hear of one or something, I know it's not gonna they're not gonna be cheap. It's just the way it is. But it's a setup I really want to have, and it's really gonna work well in my 50 F1. So that's kind of why I'm going down that road. I haven't put the feelers too seriously out for it just yet because it's kind of been backburnered for a little. So I it's one of those things you just hoarder things. You just keep your eye out. You see it, you grab it. But I haven't seen one for sale around here in quite some time. And usually when you do, you're buying the whole transmission because a lot of guys don't want to sell just the top. I don't really want to tear up a transmission. I'd rather just buy the top, but whatever. I got to do it. I got to do what I got to do to get the part I need. But that will be another video I'll make is converting a top loader over to top shift. I'm trying to remember the years ASO. I know it's a 176, but it's like 78 to 80 something or 79 to 80. It's two or it's only a 4 or 5 year span. I think the CJ8 uses a different gearbox, doesn't it? Or is that the same thing? I know I've been looking for them for a while around here, and at least maybe I'm looking in the wrong spots, but I sure don't see many of those Jeeps with those transmissions around here. T170. See, I don't know. I think the 170 was different, wasn't it? Well, it's a Tremec. That could be true, ASO. It could be true. It's a Tremec box. Well, it's a Ford top loader style Tremec box. I think is how it comes, which is the T170, the T part of it, Tremec. But it's the exact same. The top of it is identical to a top loader. Oh, I see. I don't know. It's a new thing. I was reading about it in some magazine, and because I'll tell you, it's hard finding for the way the cab is set up on my F1 and as far back as the engine sits. Trying to find a manual transmission with a lever far enough forward, there is not much out there. So this was something I kind of come up with reading some articles. And I think this is a swap that was kind of popular in the 90s, but kind of faded away. Even the S10's T5, which the S10 T5 is kind of weak anyways, was another option, but the lever still isn't quite far enough forward. It still gets too close to the seat. But that was a thought. And I got an NP435, but man, that's a rock crawler tranny. I mean, it's designed for a school bus, not a little half-ton truck. I mean, I could use it if I suppose, if I wanted. I don't have a small block bell housing for it though. That's the problem. I just thought it was kind of a neat top shift setup, so I wanted to try and run it. It's going to be an expensive venture, I think, but I like doing stuff that's different. I was going to do the 3-speed with the T150 top, which I already have. Ah, okay. Oh, I see. Single rail overdrive. Okay. Yep. But anyways, I was gonna do the 3-speed version of it. I already got the T150 top for the 3-speed top loader, and then I got thinking, well, why don't I just get one of those full 4-speed overdrives that nobody wants, and then I'll have overdrive, and I won't have to worry about it. I can cruise on the highway. I can put like, I don't know, 373s or something in a 370s or 410s in the back, and I'll have overdrive. That'd be fun. I mean, it'd be a 3-speed with overdrive, but you only need 3 speeds, right? Most automatics were 3 speeds, so a 4-speed with overdrive, what the hell? Just be a same as an automatic, just shifting the gears yourself. I don't know. Maybe it's a dumb idea. I'm gonna do it anyways. I mean, I bought the transmission. It's sitting right over there. Yeah, 373s. Um, yeah, yep. It's not much different than my big block top loader. I know the tail shaft it might be a little shorter. The case seems to be about the same, other than it has the bulge on the one side for the. I think it's for the overdrive part or something. I got a 9-inch underneath the truck right now. It's out of the first generation Bronco. I don't know what gears are in it, so I got to find out what gears are in it. It's sitting on 265 6015s, I think. So 373s might be where it needs to be. My plan was to put a 351 Windsor in it. That's my plan. What actually happens could be completely different, but that's my plan. And theoretically, if things had gone the way I wanted them to go, that truck would actually be in here right now, me doing the chassis work to it. But I kind of took on a few other projects I probably shouldn't have, but needed to. Nah. Well, when I bought the truck taco, it came with the 9-inch already in it, so I was like, bonus, awesome. And being an early Bronco 9-inch, I'm pretty sure it probably wasn't cheap to whoever bought it, because nothing early Bronco was cheap. I was actually surprised to see it underneath there. I expected the crappy Dana that they come with underneath there. So perfect. I just don't know what gears are in it. I got to find out. But it's got a bunch of chassis work I got to do. I'm putting the Mustang 2 front underneath it, power steering, power disc brakes, all goodies. Been collecting these parts for almost a year and a half now, I think. Lots and lots of sales. How much have you done on the fair? ASO, I've kind of slacked off on the Fairlane. I had to order seat belts for it. Hooking the radio speakers and stuff. Not much left to do. What happened was, and you guys haven't seen on the channel yet, I shot some video again. It's on I haven't gotten around to editing yet. So you guys will be in the know of the whole story, which may not even be told. I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm going to put the video on there now or not. My dad had a 77 extended cab short bed full wheel drive, which technically doesn't exist because they never made them. He had one. He was partially restored. It was partially restored. It had been painted. The interior was brand new in it, but the doors and stuff weren't put together. Anyway, long story short, the truck's been parked for like almost 20 years. in this semi-finished state. He got mad at it, or just he was disgruntled about it, or something. I don't remember exactly what happened that made him never want to touch it again. He just stopped working on it at one point, and it got stuffed and leaned to and left there. Animals got into it. I mean, it was plastic and covered up, but they chewed through it anyway. Anyways, I found kittens in it, and they destroyed the interior, shit all over the thing, pissed everywhere. So instead of working on my mom's car last summer, I wound up pulling it out because I wanted to get the smell and everything out of it. I gutted the entire interior out of the thing. Matter of fact, you can't see right behind here the jump seats for the Super Cab. I got to blast the metal and repaint them. But I ended up spending last summer tearing that Super Cab's interior apart. First, I had to get running and moving. So now it moves. It runs and it can move around. It stops and goes forward and all that good stuff. Gutted the interior out. Had to order new carpet. Had problems with the carpet that was sent to me. Had to send it back. But I'll throw one out for Stock Interiors, who sells the ACC carpet. Stock Interiors was awesome to deal with. No problems. They actually, when I showed them the carpet was shit, they came and picked it up from my house. I didn't have to take and send it anywhere. They actually came, had UPS come out, pick it up and all that jazz. It took a couple weeks to go through the whole thing, but they sent me another carpet that was QA checked at the factory to make sure it didn't happen again. I give Stock Interiors like 2 thumbs up, man. I mean, they were really great with the customer service. And right now they have really the best deals on the carpets out there. I mean, it was 150 plus shipping for a Super Cab carpet. So dirt cheap. And they're nice carpets. I got it in there now and it looks great. The bucket seats and all that are in there and the console's back in, and the jump seats, I just want to reshoot the metal part. But anyways, I spent the summer getting that done, and then that Bronco. I'm sure you remember the Bronco. I finally got it dialed in, which I think you've seen some shorts of that. And I was just buttoning up the interior, putting the dash back together, and kind of working on those two mainly during the summer. And they're not my rigs; they're my mom, they're my dad's stuff, so my mom's rigs. So I probably should have made more videos on them, but it didn't really belong to me. So I was like, kind of, I make shorts on them and stuff. That's about it. Bryce is putting off his dial indicator work. Yeah, poor Frankie. He was talking to me the other day. He's all, man, I need to find me another daily or get Grease's car fixed, the Jetta. And I'm like, what's wrong with Frankie? And he's like, well, I don't know if I got enough nuts to take it out of town or not. I'm like, well, what's wrong with it? You're going to have to drive it and figure out what's wrong with it and work those things out. But yeah, I think old Frankie still needs a little bit of work here and there, but he's not far off. Dean, the Super Cab was, well, here's the funny thing. They didn't make short bed Super Cab 4-wheel drives. They never did. It doesn't exist. And I'm not 100% sure what the hell chassis it's sitting on. It's actually, they did a hell of a job grafting it together. I mean, the thing is a freaking brick shit house. I haven't seen more fish plating in strength in a frame than this damn thing has. I mean, it's unbelievable how much more metal they added to the chassis. But it looks like they started with a 4-wheel drive frame, and then because the Super Cab itself is put on that frame. So I'm guessing that frame was probably a long box frame, long box 4-wheel drive, and they just lengthened or shortened or whatever to get the wheelbase right. Because the cab mounts to the Super Cab have to be spaced away from the frame, that extra width that the 4-wheel drive isn't. So I think it's a 4-wheel drive frame they put the cab and the short bed onto. They did a really nice job. The frame is, like I said, the frame's a brick shit house. But it's a little bit of it's titled as a 77. So that's why I call it a 77. Frame could be a 76, 75, 74. I don't know. The cab has the retractors and shit in the sides. So the cab very well could be a 70 or 70, 77, 78 or 79. Is that right? It had a 78 nose on it, but how many people have a 78 nose out there? I mean, there's so many. I don't see very many four-wheel drive super cabs with the 77 or 6 nose, so I'm changing that over. Matter of fact, right behind me on the blaster, those are the headlight buckets for the 77 nose that's on it. I got to blast those and repaint them. But anyways, going back to the engine, we kind of got on a tangent. It has a 400 in it. So that's what I mean. The truck is just, it's a Heinz 57. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what the hell it really is. But he built a 460 for it. But I'll tell you, that 400, man, that thing, somebody went through it. It runs strong and it sounds good. So I have no plans of taking the 400 out of it. I think ASO, you just saw your comment that the carpet's cheap. Very cheap. I think Stock Interiors is in Alabama. I think it's somewhere out there. Is it in Alabama? Or is it Georgia? Stock Interiors is out there somewhere. That's where they're sending their stuff from. And it's nice. Their ACC stuff, their auto custom carpet. It's kind of a cool truck. I think I'll put a little. I did film a walk around of it. It's a beautiful truck. It's a pretty truck. I don't know why he never finished it. He just kind of gave up on it. I know something that happened that like pushed it over the hill. You know, like he pissed him off to the point where he didn't want to touch it anymore. He had it at a paint shop. It was a friend of the neighbors or related to the neighbor of his. And they were backing it out of the paint booth and turned towards the fence, and the fence caught the grill and bent the grill all to shit. And this was the 78 grill that was in it. Things were said. I think my dad expected him to pay for the grill, which probably would have been the right thing to do. He refused to pay for the grill, and a war ignited. And I think the whole idea of the truck getting damaged kind of soured him, and he never touched it again after that. It was on the road of completion, and then it just stopped. So, ironically, I had a 73 to 6 grill, a nice one, but I don't have another 78 grill. That's why I'm changing it. And the truck's title is a 77, so I thought, why not? But I think my dad liked the 78, 79 better, which is why he was doing that. So, sorry, Dad, I'm changing it. Tough shit. See, Dean, around here we have tons of trucks with 78 noses. It seems like everyone takes the earlier trucks and shit cans that nose and puts a 78, 79 nose on stuff around here. Which, don't get me wrong, I like it too. I actually like them better with the tube grill. But personally, the 76.7, yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah, it's like ASO 76, 77 with the dark around the headlights. It's usually painted black. Because I think like Bryce's year, it's the grill goes all the way across. It's just an opening. Where 76 and 7 have that tinted dark area around the light. I kind of like that better. Oh, I see. That makes sense. Yeah, see, a lot of guys switch their earlier stuff to the 78.9. But yeah, no, 400. Well, see, I didn't know much about the 400s, and I know they were in the smog era. I built one with a friend of mine. We did a bunch of tricks to it, and it really ran good. Again, there's another engine that didn't get loved because of when it came out. I think the 400 would have really been a popular engine to hot rod had it came out a little earlier than it did, and maybe put in a few different rigs than it was. I don't think it got the kind of love it should have. That's right, Taco. Yep, buck the system. Yep, absolutely. I like doing things that are different. You know, you go to these car shows, you're running around town, and fuck, it's like you see all the same stuff. I want to have something that stands out a little bit different. And around here, 78 9 grilled trucks are all over the place. Oh, I see. Well, pretty much Ford did the same thing too. By 78, the Bronco and the full size was they were all the same nose. Matter of fact, I think in 78 there was the round-eyed square grilled trucks, which were really weird. That's the guy that we built the 400 for his short bed. He had a short bed, half-ton four-wheel drive pickup, and it had the round headlights and the square headlight grill, which I thought was kind of weird. I don't know how you determine which one gets what. But yeah, that's what his had. And he changed out the headlight buckets to the square headlights for some reason. So, I don't know. I don't know if I like the round headlight in the square hole. I'm not sure on that one. On the fence. I've seen a few that way, but not many. And I'm not sure what trim level Ford designated for that headlight setup. Oh, I see. Yep. That's exactly what happened. Yep. And it sucks because man, the FEs were good engines, but I think it was the emissions thing, wasn't it? They just couldn't get them past emissions. That's where the M and the 400 were supposed to be able to do that. At least in the states, that's the reasoning I heard. Yeah, they ran the 82. Oh, so you had C's until 82 over there. 74 was our cutoff. There was no more Clevelands after 74. We only got 4 years of them. Well, five, I guess, if you want to add the 6 month on either end, which sucks because it means a limited supply for us. There's some dude that lives in Battleground just north of me here, though. He's an importer exporter out of Australia. So I somewhere around this shop have a set of Australian 351 heads. I have to find them. They're here somewhere. I ran into him at the Portland swap meet, and he had them priced just right, so I grabbed them. I had this weird ambition of building a Clever or Clevor. Yeah, like I said, they didn't put the 400 in enough vehicles. It really didn't get the notoriety it should have. The 400, I think, had especially if you look at the first couple of years of the 400, that wasn't a bad. I mean, other than okay, it got a bad rap for some cylinder head issues. I think that was mostly the modified, though, wasn't it? I don't think the 400 had the head cracking problem. Maybe it did. But they were only putting the 400 optionally in the cars for the first couple of years there, and the full size cars. But people were still ordering the 460 and stuff in those instead. So the 400 just didn't quite get the. No, you don't say 400M. That's blasphemy. You don't say that. It's not a modified. 400 is a 400. The only one that's an M is the 351. Ford won a lawsuit against U.S. after World War II. Coca-Cola was a bigger mess. No kidding, huh? Wonder what that was all about. Oh, that's right. Yep. Roush and Yates. Yep. Interesting. Interesting. So you still could kind of get them. Okay. So the block was cracking? I thought it was the heads that were cracking. I've never heard of the blocks cracking. At least not around here. Oh, oh, okay. I gotcha. Interesting. Fanta's German Coke. I didn't know that. See, learn something new every day. That's funny. The golden question, no, the 400 is what I've always considered a mid block. It's not a big block, it's not a small block. It's a mid block that shares the same bell housing pattern as a big block Ford. Just like Cleveland, just like the modified. It's a mid block. That's what I call it. I'm sure there's lots that'll tell me I'm wrong, but whatever. Call it what you want. From 79. So shit, they had Cleveland's up to 89. Wow. But the Panteras, at least here in the States, they didn't have Panteras after 76, though, right? At least we didn't. I don't know if you guys are still getting Panteras in Oz, but we weren't. I think the last year was 70. Good night, Taco. Thanks for stopping in, man. I appreciate it. It was good seeing you. You can give Bryce hell for not showing up. They stopped casting, but they were. Oh, I see. Ah. So I wonder who else was getting these Cleveland engines. Because you had Ford of different countries, like Ford of Brazil and whatnot. They never got Clevelands that I know of. That's interesting. Well, I mean, the Cleveland was a good engine. Thanks, man. Same here. You have a good night, bud. So you're saying the Clevelands were technically designed for the Panteras? I never heard that. I'm not saying it wouldn't be. Or they specially modified these Clevelands for the Panteras. The only problem I see with the Cleveland is its weight. It is a little more husky than the Windsors. But then again, they have a little more beef than the Windsors do. Oh, I'll be damned. Ohio made Pantera was made till. Huh, okay. I did not know that. I figured they'd switch to the Windsors or something. Like the Bricklands were running Windsors. So I figured they'd dump the Cleveland for the Windsor in the later years. Because after production stopped in 74, I figured they were using up stock by 76. And I don't recall seeing what the hell Pantera was there after 76. At least around here we didn't, and not that I know of, we had any. Maybe I'm not. I don't know what I'm looking at. I only recognize the early ones. Those are the ones I like. But I wouldn't mind seeing a resurgence of them again. Would be kind of cool if they made an aluminum block version of them. Because I mean, you don't hear stories of Cleveland splitting down the freaking middle of the block like you do at Windsor. But they have the Motorsports Windsor blocks. They're pretty tough too now. You still hanging ASO? Dude, it's probably like 4 o'clock in the morning there, isn't it? Or almost 5. Crazy. The thing I hate the area around the timing gear though. That's the only crappy thing. Oh, you're only okay. You're only a couple hours ahead of me. Duh. What am I thinking? That's how tired I'm getting. His second wind. I gotta go get a Christmas tree in the morning, so probably should be packing it up. Get up at a reasonable time. Reasonable as being not freaking 30 degrees. But I want to get up and make me a little breakfast instead of cold cereal down the hatch. It'd be nice to have something a little nicer. No, no, I'm gonna go to one of the coworkers. His family's got a tree farm. It's not far from here, so I'm gonna go patronize the local. Those freaking trees. I mean, I'm not gonna short dick them at all. I mean, trees are going up in price, which just blows me away. We live in tree land here, and yet they're still gonna charge 60, 70, $80 for a freaking tree. But it is what it is, I guess. I don't know. To be honest with you, Dean, I should probably just cut the one in my front yard down. The only thing is, I got to go halfway up it to get it to the right size. Green Christmas cactus. ASO, are you putting any content out on the 64 that you're doing? I'm assuming it's the Ford pickup. Maybe I'm wrong, or was it the Chevy? I remember you working on a Chevy. Hey, Woody. Actually, Danson was giving me shit about my light beer when he first jumped in. I should go throw him out in the street so he can collect them, huh? Yeah, he was in here for a while harassing us. He's probably not in here anymore. It's getting late for him. How's old Woody been? Freaking man, you are going to town on that house. It's looking really nice, though, doing a lot of nice work. Your kid's pretty handy, too. So it was blasphemous. I like old dancing. Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry, so I forgot about that. Yep. I don't know what to tell you on that one. I'll be waiting though when you get the ability to do so. Thanks, Woody. I super appreciate it. And well deserved rest, man. You're doing a good job. It's really turning out nice. I just wish I could afford to hire you. Because I guarantee you, whatever you're getting paid isn't enough. You're doing a good, hell of a job. I know you're not getting paid. You should be, and you're doing a good job. Ooh, there you go. A little cross channel pollination. Dean's got an idea. I did that for uh, Bryce. He got busted for something stupid. So I put one of his videos on my channel for him. Oh, he was broke up about it. It was so dumb. Someone reported him for something about his daughter, which was just stupid. It was all crap. There was nothing going on. So I was like, dude, I'll throw up your video on my thing just to keep concurrent with what you got going. Buy me a laser. Freaking dancing. Masonite and cardboard. Get out of here. Harass the poor guy. Jeez. Well, that whole thing, ASO, somebody needed he needed to be the ego had to be put in check. I think he's got it in check now. Maybe. I don't know. It would be nice to see everyone bury all the hatchets so we can just move forward as a group. But I get it. You know, there's bad blood now. Someone took fire. I get it. Yes, Wood Metal Garage does rock. Please go check out his stuff. He has done an absolute outstanding job remodeling this house, which I didn't think it was until he tore into it. I didn't realize how bad it was and what he's went through. Go check his channel out, and it's very interesting to see everything that he's done. Dude's got some skills. That's got some crazy skills. uh, uh, you guys are killing me. Well, I think we're gonna call her a night. I'm getting tired now, and I'm having a hard time reading this. You probably see me squinting. I'm trying to read the damn screen. I gotta be able to get up and go get me an Xmas tree. One for me and one for my mom. That might turn into an all-day affair. Who knows? You guys. All right. We're going to shut this sucker down. So, anyways, I want to thank you guys for coming and hanging out. I mean, this is crazy 3 hours. I wasn't expecting to hang out that long, but that's cool. I enjoy it. So, anyways, y'all have a good night. And I would imagine I'd probably see you here from me before Christmas. But if I don't, have a Merry Christmas. I'm sure I'll see you before the new year. So I might do another little crazy Christmas video like I did last year. We'll see. But I'm trying to I gotta figure out how to do the wrenches and all that crap too. So give me a little time. I'm figuring this garbage out. I'll start throwing a few of y'all moderator things. I didn't do it tonight like I was going to. Now I'm too tired. So anyways, y'all have a good night. We'll see you guys later.